Yeah, maybe we can talk a bit about participation just in a little bit more detail, because I think one of the things that I'm recognizing as we approach moving in, and even before we're moving in, the community exists, but we also participate to sort of cultivate the community and maintain the space to a large extent once we move in as well. So maybe someone can help shed light on what that looks like.
So I think in co-housing, there's an expectation for participation, for all members to participate when you're living in the community, and also very much when you're building your community, especially at the stage that we're at. But participation shouldn't necessarily scare people away so much, because it's not like, that you need to do, 20 hours a week of, gardening or, something that it's not regimented necessarily. And, we're working through that in our own community now with Driftwood, just sort of trying to envision what that's going to look like, what it's going to look like when we move in. And, we're all really conscious of the fact that we all have different abilities, different interests in what we want to participate in, and trying to find those ways that everybody can participate in a way that works for them. It may not always, we may have to have like a big paint-a-thon or something, and everybody gets out their paintbrushes, but it's not, that participation piece is part of, I think, the community building as well. We're all there together doing things. It's way more fun than if you're having to paint by yourself, for example.
Or think of the rehabilitation of the riparian area along Wag Creek. So as Gordon mentioned, we're going to be taking care of that piece of the park for the city of North Vancouver as part of our rezoning. And there's an enormous thicket of blackberries, and even our new neighbors that live beside our site said that they'd tried to maintain those over the years, but it was just too much to do. With 27 households, after 3 work bees, the blackberries are gone last spring, and they're not growing back. So it's the power of what you can do when you're working together.
Yeah, and I think recently one of the efforts that we've put a lot of work into is this whole meal planning structure, which when we're looking at participation, I'm really excited because it looks like I'm going to get to do dishes maybe twice a month and somehow get to participate in this optional kind of shared meals setting, on a regular basis. And so, yeah, I think that's another example. And we might talk about that more, but I do see instances where people who really like facilitation, they get to participate in that way. People who want to talk about finances and legal issues, they get to participate in that way. So I think there's like more than enough need and diversity of need where people can play to their strengths in addition to, the odd pulling weeds or painting a door or something. There's a whole diversity of kind of tasks, at least at this stage, that we're able to participate in.